Chapter 11 of The Doll's House by Rumer Godden. Meanwhile, the Plantagenet family had moved into the doll's house. They had made it completely their own. Though the chairs were not ready yet and the lace curtains had not come, Mr. Plantagenet, Birdie, Apple and Dana had settled down. The house was clean from top to bottom. There were new sheets and pillows, those mouse-sized pillows, and nicked-round blankets on the bed. Apple had his patchwork quilt. The carpets were nailed down, and their washing had made their colours fresh. "Mine is pink as roses and apple blossom and nail polish," sang Birdie. The rust had been scoured and scraped from the stove and pots and pans, and the seashells had been glued back again on the picture frames. No family could have been happier than the Plantagenets for now. Dana had his kennel to himself, and it was filled with real chopped-up straw that Emily had begged from a stable in the mews and cut up with her scissors. Apple had the whole house to play in, and he had learned the dangerous practice of somersaulting down the stairs. He wished that Charlotte would sit him at the top, and then quite soon he would manage to overbalance and somersault down to the bottom. Birdie had her room with the pink carpet, and every morning she dusted it with her feather broom while she sang all the songs that she felt her bird in the bird cage would sing. The what of her was dusting and what singing, Birdie sometimes did not know. "Do I sing with my hands and dust with my voice?" asked Birdie. "I might, I do not know, but I am happy, happy, happy." And she flicked with a feather broom and sang a trill. "So happy," sang Birdie. Emily had made her a flyaway apron with embroidery cotton strings that were pink like the carpet. "My carpet," sang Birdie. "How I like pink." How different was the sound of Birdie's la, tra-la-la, from the walking dolls. And Mr. Plantagenet? Mr. Plantagenet was different. He looked heavier. The porcelain of his face and hands seemed brighter, cleaner. The checks on his suit seemed more clearly marked, his red ribbon tie more crisp. When he held his walking stick, it looked as if he would swing it at any moment. The house was a house to be proud of, well built, solid down to the last window sill and up to the wooden chimney. It was warm, gay, comfortable, and there was the lamp with its birthday cake candle for when it was dark. Emily and Charlotte often lit it, and when they had finished playing, they shut the front and left the Plantagenets safe inside. While Birdie dusted and Apple somersaulted on the stairs and Dana lay in his kennel, Mr. Plantagenet sat in the sitting room reading the little papers Emily made for him and thinking what it would be like when the new chairs and curtains came. For the moment he had to sit on one of the bedroom chairs. He was quite happy sitting in the sitting room, but he began to feel that if he were a real master of the house he should, like father, go to office. "I wish they would think of getting me an office," said Mr. Plantagenet. "I should like to go to the office very much." They had kept a place for Totty. There was a bed waiting for her in the same room as Apple, the room with the blue carpet. Mr. Plantagenet slept with Birdie. Totty's clothes were in the cupboard, her red knitted cloak hung in the hall with Birdie's straw hat with a feather. "Of course we are all waiting for Totty," said Mr. Plantagenet. "Tra-la, tra-la. I wish Totty was here," sang Birdie. "Then we could cook little pretending flower pies and hundreds and thousands sweets. Do you know hundreds and thousands? They make really good doll's house sweets." "If Totty were here, she wouldn't let me somersault downstairs, but I wish Totty were here," said Apple. "It doesn't feel like our home without Totty," said Mr. Plantagenet. Then his face looked stiff and he dropped his walking stick. "Birdie," he said, "suppose it isn't our home after all. Suppose we have made a mistake. They couldn't take it away from us, could they, Birdie?" "I don't understand," said Birdie, and she lowered her broom and the embroidery cotton strings of her apron sank and was still. "What do you mean?" "I don't understand," she said with a sound like a whimper. No, don't think about it. I was only joking," said Mr. Plantagenet quickly. "Were you? It didn't sound like a joke." "Don't think about it. You go on with your dusting, my dear." "May I? Are you sure?" "Of course, Birdie dear, of course. Forget about it." Mr. Plantagenet soon forgot about it himself. He had discovered that when the birthday cake candle in the lamp was lit, the roses in the vase threw a tiny real shadow of themselves on the table. "It is cold, dear," said the walking doll again. "It is grand and fine," said Marchpane. "I don't want to go back in my box," said the wax doll. "It is too dark and quiet. I wish—" She was thinking of the caretaker's child, who still crept out to look at her in the evenings when the people had gone. "I wish—" The last day came. Totty, with every minute, grew more happy and excited. "You are lucky," sighed the wax doll. "Tell us about this house you are in," said the walking doll. "Yes, tell us. Then I can think about it when I lie with my eyes shut in my box. I can think and pretend. Tell, Totty, tell us." All the dolls took up the cry. "Tell us, Totty, tell." Totty had always thought it better not to talk about the house in front of Marchpane, but now she was so excited and happy herself, and so sorry for the other dolls, that she forgot to take care. She began to tell the dolls about the doll's house. She told about its cream walls and the ivy, and Dana's kennel. She told about the red hall and the sitting room with the holly green carpet, and the struggle to get the chairs, though she did not tell them that she had thought that she herself had been sold to get them. She told about the rooms upstairs and the pink and blue carpets and the bath with the taps. And she told about Birdie and Mr. Plantagenet and Dana and Apple. She told it from the beginning to the end, from the bottom to the top. When she had gone, there was a long, soft silence, and then ahs and sighs from the dolls. "Oh, lucky, lucky Totty. Oh, Totty, you are lucky." "Don't you believe her," cried Marchpane in a loud voice. "That isn't her house. It's mine." All the dolls looked at Marchpane. Then they all looked at Totty. "It is in our nursery now," said Totty. "You stole it while I was at the cleaner's." "It was sent to us as you were sent to the cleaner's. It needed cleaning and taking care of," said Totty. "We cleaned it and took care of it." "How dare you!" cried Marchpane. "You think because the Queen noticed you, you can do anything." Wait and see, cried Marchpane. "I shall have that house back." "How can you?" asked Totty. "It's in our nursery." "Wait and see," said Marchpane. "Wait and see." The exhibition was closed. The dolls had been taken away. The room was empty, and when the caretaker's child came in the evening, there were only long blank tables where Totty and Marchpane and Queen Victoria's doll and the walking doll and the wax doll and the other dolls had been. Did the caretaker's child think of the wax doll? And the wax doll in her lonely box think of the caretaker's child and of the finger that had touched her satin dress? Did the dolls think of Totty's welcome home by Emily, Charlotte, Birdie, Mr. Plantagenet, Apple and Dana? I think they did.